Hey Utah, Broadway at the Eccles just announced their new 2024-2025 season, and it's a good one.
It's a great season. This season includes 5 shows direct from Broadway, and really there's something for everybody. The shows this year include JULIET, Mrs. Doubtfire, Funny Girl, Kimberly AKIMBO, Peter Pan, and don't forget Wicked. And then we also have a play that's called Life of Pi. And last but not least, there are 2 add-ons. One that is a show that I'm not really sure Utah likes much. It's Les Mis. And the other one is Book of Mormon.
I'm most excited to see Aunt Juliet again. We saw this on Broadway, and honestly, I had a smile on my face the whole entire time.
It was her best dream.
Really, honestly, my 90s heart just was soaking up every minute of it. It has the music of the Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears, I Want It That Way, and Larger Than Life. It even had some Celine Dion, who I love. This whole story it basically flips the script on Romeo and Juliet and tells you what would happen if Juliet didn't actually give it all up for Romeo and kill herself.
I think I'm the most excited for the 2 shows of this season that I actually haven't seen, and that's Mrs. Doubtfire and Funny Girl. Mrs. Doubtfire is a show that's a lot similar to the movie that actually was released with Robin Williams many years ago, and it's got a couple of neat things to look for. David Corns was the set designer on it, which I think his set looks really cool. I'm excited about that. And then I'm really hoping that Rob McClure and his wife are still in it when the show rolls into Salt Lake City.
I'm still sad that we didn't catch Funny Girl on Broadway. I really wanted to see Leah Michele. I could still picture that episode of Glee where she marches down the aisle singing Don't Rain on My Parade. It is famous. Everybody knows that song. Funny Girl also has I'm the Greatest Star, and it has People. Everybody remembers Tom Hanks with that song in Big, Anyways, Funny Girl is the story of Fanny Bryce, and she's wanting to be a Broadway star. And I love it because this show is what made Barbra Streisand famous. And I'm like, she is huge famous. So it's almost like the show made her famous, and it's about a person who became famous. It's like a big full circle moment.
The next show that I'm really excited to revisit is Kimberly AKIMBO. This is a coming of age story of a girl in a new town kind of dealing with her dysfunctional family and kind of the different things that happened as a teenager. She's crushing on a boy, but also she has this genetic disorder that makes her age, I think it's 4 times faster than other people around her. So this is a unique story. I would call it kind of like an offbeat musical comedy. It's going to be interesting to see what Utah thinks of this one.
Peter Pan is coming to town again. This show has been around forever. It's beloved in community theater, and this is a whole entire fresh take of this show. They have rewritten the whole entire script, and they've actually removed some of those more references that haven't really aged well with time. They got rid of some of the songs like Ugga Wug, and they've got rid of some of the references to Redskins and things like that. But they still have those timeless songs that we all kind of know and love. They've got, I'm Flying and I Won't Grow Up. And everybody knows the story of Peter Pan. You've seen the movie. It's Peter Pan and Tinkerbell and the Darling Children. So I'm excited to see what they do to refresh this script and bring it up to the times.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see. I'd also love to see what they do with the technology in the show as well. I mean, somebody's got to fly, right?
That's right. Wicked is coming back again. I cannot see this show enough. If it came again every single year, I would go and see it and love it every single time.
Absolutely. Wicked's such a great show, and it's actually one that's aged well as well, from the design and the tech and all the different interesting things about the show, as well as the story. I mean, I just really love the story. I'm excited. We got a chance to take our son to this show earlier last year, and then I'm really excited to take our daughters to it as well. Wicked is a beloved show that I'm really excited is coming back to Salt Lake City.
I love how it tells you this whole side of the Wizard of Oz that you didn't know. And so opening that up to people and our children who've never seen that side, it's so exciting. And I love to see how people react not only to the music, but to the set and to just every part of the magic that's in the building with Wicked.
Next up is the only play that's coming in this new season, and that's Life of Pi. If you're familiar with Life of Pi, the movie or the book, this is the same story. This is a really cool play. I really enjoyed going to see it. The set is very unique. If I had to describe kind of the set or the tech of the show, I would say that it is kind of this master of simple stagecraft. They tell some very interesting stories, a larger-than-life story. I mean, he's stuck on a boat. How do you tell the story of an entire ocean on a stage? But they do it, and they do it really well. I loved the tech in this show, and I really like the message that this show brings as well.
I'm really excited that Eccles has been bringing more and more plays because, I'll be honest, when I'm going to New York, I always go pick a musical first. And so having a play like Life of Pi come, and before we had To Kill a Mockingbird, I love To Kill a Mockingbird, even though there wasn't any singing and dancing and tap and all those kind of things. So I'm excited to see what this show could teach me. I didn't catch this one. Bobby went on it when he was on a trip, So I'm really excited to learn and to see the show because I loved the book.
Yeah, the story is really strong. And the one thing I will say is watch for how they do the animals. The way that they portray the animals in this show is so neat. If you go for nothing else, it's worth going to see the animals.
Then we've got 2 different add-ons. We've got the Book of Mormon coming to Utah, and then,
of course, Utah's beloved Les Mis as well as another add-on. We just had this show recently, but I think a lot of people wanted to see it. I think it did really well here in Salt Lake City, so they're bringing it back as an add-on. Hey, and if you're like us and you want to remember all the different shows that you've been to, and maybe keeping all of your original cast of Hamilton playbills aren't enough for you, we actually have some playbill ornaments that we've been making, and these just help us remember each of the shows we've been to. We also do custom engraving on the back, so you can get the show you're looking for as well as some custom engraving. And then I just started making these. I actually just put them on the shop yesterday, a Broadway street sign ornament as well. So if you're like us and you want to remember your shows with a little bit of Broadway at home, check out our Etsy shop.
Yeah, and it helps beat our Broadway addiction. We'll put a link to our Etsy shop in the description.
And the shop's called Indigo and Navy.
One of our favorite things is talking about Broadway. Our friends are always asking us about shows. So please, if you have any questions about these shows in particular or anything about the content, please drop a question in the comments and we'll get back to you. Those are the shows that are coming to Utah as the Broadway of the Eccles season. What's coming to your city?
So get out and go see some shows.
We'll see you at the theater.